the nightmare of Nigerian politics is slowly but steadily starting to manifest itself in Anambra State as ambitious politicians face each other with their dreadfully conceived, inflated opinions of themselves and prepare to pound their opponents into submission. The Anambra governorship election isn't, of course, till November, but the road to that date is already littered with potential battle scenes as the competing aspirants prepare for the primaries of their various parties, all of them unflinchingly resolved to do each other in. A much anticipated primary election is, of course, that of the APC, due to take place in early April. Not sure whether we should be bracing ourselves in expectation of a great democratic exercise or a venomous, animosity-filled event. Well, this week we're talking to some of the APC aspirants who will be taking part in that Anambra governorship primary in early April. And tonight it's the turn of the lawyer, or the man who studied law, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and former national auditor of the APC, Paul Chukwuma. And he joins me now in the studio. How nice of you to come in.
Thank you very much, Charles, for having me.
As briefly as you can, why do you think you should be the APC candidate in Anambra State?
Thank you very much. APC is a ruling party in Nigeria. In Anambra State, we've had our challenges as a party. And when I decided to run for the office of the governor of Anambra State, I first of all realized that running for the office of the governor requires a political platform. I'm a founding member of APC, but I must be honest to say that a couple of years hitherto, APC has been faced with a number of challenges in Anambra State, partly caused by the ruling or progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, with a lot of blackmail and name calling, and then I realized that for me to successfully run for office, I need to first of all deal with the party. 3 years ago, I started this journey. First of all, I needed to fix the vehicle that will take me to my destination, because the vehicle was faulty at the time. And I started with cleaning up the party. At the time, 2022, we had a lot of issues, including but not limited to not having proper offices. So I first of all dealt with the issue of providing 326 ward offices for the party. Political parties are about grassroots engagement and movement.
Yes, I was going to come to that grassroots thing.
And yes, so I felt without the grassroots base, I cannot successfully, under a democratic setting, contest for governorship of the state. So I fixed that, and then I did not stop at that. I fixed the local government offices, and of course the state secretariat, which is, by the way, now very just opposite the government house, signaling my very clear intentional plan to take
to cross
over,
the street.
yeah, just to walk over and take over the seat.
I like that.
Yes.
Nevertheless, your critics say that despite your considerable resources, and you must have resources to do all the things you said you're doing, you remain largely unmarketable in Anambra State. Those are their words. They've taken out big sections of newspapers and online to drive home that point. They say you lack widespread grassroots appeal, which is exactly what you're talking about, that you're trying to overcome. They say you have an elitist image, that you don't have much of a political record, and that many see you as benefiting from Abuja politics, but offering little to your home state. I mean, what's your reaction to all that?
I mean, it's expected. As a politician, you would expect criticism, albeit we should be more interested in constructive criticism.
Well, as far as they're concerned, that's constructive. They say you can't be the candidate because you haven't got the appeal to win the governorship of Anambra State.
Okay, let's look at that argument. like I said, for APC to win this election, we need to engage with the grassroots. That's what I'm doing. I've been at the grassroots.
Well, that's what you're trying to do.
That's what I'm doing.
Right.
I've been doing that because it's been on for a couple of years now. And it finds expression in empirically verifiable facts. One, the history of Anambra State is, let's even for 1 second presume, without conceding, that my critics were right.
Yeah.
Nobody in the history of Anambra State has been governor from being a local government chairman, for instance, which you would consider a grassroots position. So we've had people who never participated in political activities becoming governor of Anambra State. And now here I am. I've got investment in Anambra State. I've employed all manner of people in Anambra State. I've engaged in the grassroots-based philanthropy in Anambra State. I go to Anambra State every week, and my doors and my gates are wide open every day.
Yeah, but doesn't it depend on the vehicle that you're trying to use to become governor? Because in Nigeria, you can't run as an independent. You have to run through a party. And the point that your critics, some of them, are making is that the APC is already alienated from a lot of people in that part of the country, and that your candidacy further risks reinforcing that narrative that the APC is disconnected from Anambra politics. But you disagree.
Yeah, you are, Charles, you are an investigative journalist and you can verify for yourself. The fact remains that APGA, as a political party, has done a lot of damage to APC. And I have decided, I've taken an oath in my anger to stop that blackmail. First, we were called Boko Haram Party. As if that was not enough, we are called Fulani Party. And then Ofen Manu Party now, you may wish to interpret,
well, you interpret it.
Okay, I thought you could also assist me in that. But the point is...
I like that, I'll leave that to you.
Yeah, but the point is, Charles, there is a calculated attempt to keep Anambra State under wrap by non-progressive elements that populate the party called APGA. They come to Abuja and you see them in every government offices, in the villa, in the presidency, pledging their loyalty and their allegiance to the APC. Back in Anambra, they have engaged themselves in this agenda of trying to paint APC and members of APC black, simply because they want to retain power. The truth of the matter is, I've identified this as a challenge, as a problem, and I'm facing it head on. That's why, like I told you in my opening statement, that I've figured out the problem and I'm solving it. What is the problem? We need to get down to the grassroots to engage, to tell our people, this is mischief. This is blackmail. You must not yield to it. Our people are beginning to realize it. How? With APC has never been governor of Anambra State. We have a present governor who is a professor. What is happening in Anambra State? Anambra State has been taken 20 years back. So APGA has outlived its existence. The only way to continue to remain in power is to continue their plot against APC by blackmailing us, but that has failed. We are now with the grassroots. I have championed that process, and our people are beginning to engage one-on-one. What is the issue? You need to tell the people what you as a government will do for them. Mind you, most of the interventions lines that APGA government rely on to claim some sort of political democratic dividend is from the federal government. So you have the school feeding program you have from the previous administration and all manner of intervention programs. What happens? APGA will get this from government, federal government, APC-led government, and then they come back to Anambra State and they wear APGA members the apron of APGA, and they will say, it used to be Willie is working, now is Soludo is working, or solution of a sort, and that solution is federal government solution to the Anambra. So we're going back to our people and say, this rice you are eating, this fertilizer you are using to enhance the yield of your crops is essentially an intervention for the federal government.
Right. And you expect those diverse interests in Anambra State to converge in your favor as a result of what you're doing?
Oh, yes. Oh, Charles, come on. You are a journalist. You see what is happening in Anambra for the last 3 weeks. I've succeeded in building APC. I've cleaned APC. APC is a beautiful bride. Well, that's why you see a matter of people showing interest.
You would say that, wouldn't you? But
no, hang on, sure. Charles. No, it's not me saying. Don't believe me. Go send your correspondence to Anambra State. As we speak today, aspirants from PDP, from APGA, from Labour Party are joining the party. The party is now, a beautiful bride.
Well, let me ask you this.
Courtesy of our good work.
Right, let's focus on you, for example.
Kindly.
What senatorial zone are you from in Anambra State? Because if you're from the south, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Because that's where Governor Soludo comes from. And at the moment, I mean, he is, some would argue, opponents of yours, that he's simply more popular than you are.
Soludo is the sitting governor.
Yeah, but are you from the south?
No, I'm not from the south. I'm from the north.
Right, okay.
Fortunately for me, I'm from the north.
Right.
And so that gives me an edge in this election. And it's obvious that by the grace of God, I'm going to win the ticket of my party and I'm going to win the general election.
Well, let me talk about that ticket of your party. I mean, we know that a lot of primaries in this country end up being a charade where there really is no election. There is a selection and somebody is anointed as the party person. How much of a charade do you expect those primaries to be? Will it struggle to be free of official intervention? Do you smell a rat, or is that official intervention what you're counting on as somebody who was a part of the elite, if you like, of the APC?
Yes, I think I'm confident that the party is going to have a free and fair, credible primaries. Some members of the party, especially at the grassroots, are quite concerned with the number of the Anambra that are trooping into the party now for no other reason, just to come and contest. And they are worried that looking at the antecedents of some of these new arrivals and aspirants, that we may, be bedeviled as a party by the characters they are used to in their former parties. But my position is different. The more the merrier. I don't see any problem with the primaries. The party is prepared to conduct a free and fair primaries. I've been working in the field, and I'm confident that we're going to have a very free and fair primaries.
So what do things stand at the moment in the list of aspirants gunning to be the APC candidate? Is it a long list?
Yes, fairly a long list, because even as I'm talking to you today, as I was on my way to the station, I got a news flash that one of the frontline aspirants from Labour Party has defected to the APC and is, of course, the latest catch of APC in terms of the long list. And I'm happy, particularly, because it's simply because I've made the party to look very attractive. Nobody wanted to touch APC before. So at least at that point, I'm happy that I've contributed. I've been able to create a new APC in Anambra State. that everybody's quite happy to
but of
identify
course,
with.
running for office is, I mean, it's a series of obstacle courses. You may have done something to help, you know, raise the profile of the party, but now you've got to compete against other people who, I mean, like every party, somebody builds it, but, you know, it's like a continuous process. Do you expect that, given all these people coming in, you guys will be throwing a lot of mud and insults at each other?
No, I think our campaign is going to be fairly, we've been, I mean, I've been campaigning for the primaries because the INEC has not lifted the ban. So we've been doing the consultation for the primaries, which is an internal party affair. I've been doing that with the late Senator Ifeanyi, and it was quite a civil process. You know, we recognize the fact that we are friends, we are political associates, and we are only trying to see who becomes the primus inter pares. But unless the characters that we associate with some of the parties where our brothers are coming from has not been purged, then one may worry if they will come into the party with such characters. Well, but I think they are baptized, having seen the light. I don't think they would come with that undesirable character into APC. APC is a party of disciplined politicians.
Right. Well, you say that. A lot of people dispute that. Nevertheless, let's not get bogged down in that. We've got less than a minute. As far as you're concerned, Anambra State is not going forward, and you're the one with the comfort blankets, the knight in shining armor, that'll bring much needed development to the state. Is that, in a nutshell, the way that you describe your political ambition?
Yes, but not, again, don't take it from me, Charles. You're a journalist, so you get news. We have, APGA government is in place, and Anambra is in shambles. And then two important points that you must...
Very briefly, we've got 20 seconds.
Now, you must reckon with is one, that we have huge insecurity problem in Anambra State. And the governor's last-minute attempt to deal with that problem created more problems. He came up with a law, a homeland security law, that is, laden with all manner of inconsistencies, unlawful. In fact, the law itself is unconstitutional, because if you look at section 5.5, section 5 sub 5, section 12 sub 2,
we're
and section
time,
18 of this law, you find out that the governor is acting ultra vires the powers he has even as a governor.
Well, their argument is that you've got security on the national level and you haven't quite transformed it. So on what basis would you argue that you'd be able to do so in Anambra State? But that's a story for another day. I want to thank you very much indeed, Paul Chukwuma. He is a lawyer, legal background, entrepreneur, philanthropist, former national auditor of the APC, and now an APC governorship aspirant in Anambra State. Thank you very much indeed.